What's going on, everybody? My name is MrSpookyPanda, and in today's video, guys, I'm coming back at you with another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. But today is going to be a ranking list. I don't really do those, but I'm going to be ranking every single Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies Wonder Weapon from, 1 through 5, or 0 through 5 actually. 0 is I hate it, 5 is one of the best. Now, I want to get some rules out of the way before we start. The first rule is that I'm not going to be taking into account its importance in the Easter egg at all. 2, I will not be going, any Wonder Weapon that cannot be directly Pack-a-Punched or put in the Pack-a-Punch machine will automatically lose 1 number because of it. Therefore, the weapons such as the Apothecary Servant, although it may be one of the best, it cannot get a 5 because it cannot be Pack-a-Punched by normal means. As on Revelations, you need to do Easter eggs, you need to do some steps in order to Pack-a-Punch it, so we're just going to forget about it entirely. We're also not going to be cutting any Wonder Weapons that are, what is it called? Like equipment. Therefore, the Gersh device, the QED, the Eskartska or however you pronounce this, I don't know. The Eskartska they will not count, although they are Wonder Weapon, technically are Wonder Weapons, we will not count them because they do not work. I also will not be taking into account any upgraded weapons that cannot be Pack-a-Punched. I think I already said that, but I just want to reiterate the fact that even though the Apothecary Servant may have a Pack-a-Punch version of it, I'm not going to be taking that into account for the thing, and I'm also going to be downgrading it. Just because it has a Pack-a-Punch weapon does not mean it gets an automatic number up. It could be Pack-a-Punchable, but it still could get a 0. So with that out of the way, let's get right into this, guys. So the first weapon we ever got was the ray gun. But it also mentions the flamethrower technically is a Wonder Weapon, but I will not be counting it. Okay, let's get into this. So the first Wonder Weapon we got was the ray gun. The ray gun was the most reliable weapon. Unfortunately, it had splash damage. It could be Pack-a-Punched. Its first ever appearance was on the map Nocturne Toten back in Call of Duty World at War. It made appearances in literally every single Call of Duty Zombies map. From that point onwards, meaning that it is the most used the most seen Wonder Weapon out of any single map. That deserves some points alone. Its Pack-a-Punch is the Porter's X2 ray gun. Again, really powerful weapon. Don't see why you need a Pack-a-Punch until later in the game. It would get a 5, but unfortunately the splash it has incredible splash damage, and the only way you can negate this is having PhD Flopper, or in the older ones having danger, or in the newer games such as 3 and 4 having danger close. Therefore, it cannot get a 5 due to the fact that PhD Flopper wasn't introduced till Ascension. Therefore, we had a bunch of maps where we were completely at the mercy of the splash damage of the ray gun. Therefore, I will not give it a 5, but I will definitely give it a 4. The next ever Wonder Weapon we ever saw was the Wunderwaffe DG2. This weapon was first introduced on the map Shinonuma, if I recall correctly. It has a Pack-a-Punch version. The Wunderwaffe DGX2, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. The DGX Wunderwaffe. It doesn't really matter the name. Either way, one of the best weapons. You could get to high rounds on it very fast. Unfortunately for the only thing that drags it down from a 5 is the fact that back in a World at War, there was a glitch where if you got too close to a zombie and it shocked you, it would take away your Juggernaut. Now, of course, usually, it took it away, you just buy it back, but unfortunately it stayed there. So you'd still have Juggernaut, but it wouldn't give you any of the bonuses. Therefore, you had to go down in order to get your Juggernaut back, which was a detriment in speedruns. Not speedruns to get around on hundreds, or long runs, seeing how long you could last. Therefore, I'm only going to give it a 3, because it's really annoying. But they later fixed this in later games, and now it doesn't happen anymore, so it gets bumped up back to a 4. But it's still only a 4 because of the glitch that took place back in World at War. The next ever Wonder Weapon we got to see was the Thunder Gun. Now, this gun could be pack-a-punched into Zeus's cannon, and we first saw it all the way back in Kino der Toten. Now, of course, this gun was widely regarded as one of the most used wonder weapons back in Kino der Toten, and the ray gun was almost completely, forgotten. This weapon was very powerful, and upgrading to Zeus's cannon, all it did was really give it more ammo, which of course we needed, because that's the only gun we'd use, or the only gun I would use. The thunder gun was one of the best wonder weapons you can get in general at all, so I give it a 5 out of 5 because it is definitely one of the best. The next one we got was the Winter's Howl. Now, we saw the Winter's Howl on 5, which was a campaign exclusive, meaning that you had to complete the campaign completely unless you wanted to go through to the console and do the unlock all cheat. But okay, let's be honest here. Who did that? I think everyone really just played the campaign. I don't really think anybody actually did that, because if they did, they were missing on a lot. Regardless, this was a campaign exclusive map where you got to play as John F. Kennedy, the Vice President, Richard Nixon, and Fidel Castro, which I thought was a great cast. Regardless, the Winter's Howl definitely did not serve its purpose. We did get to see it one last time before Classified came out with their Black Ops 1 remake of Verrückt. I don't think it made a reappearance in Verrückt in Chronicles. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm just gonna say it's not, just in case, because I don't think it was. Regardless, it was not that good until you pack-a-punched it into the Winter's Howl. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people didn't really give it the time of day that it deserved. I honestly thought that it wasn't that bad at the time. I thought Freezing Zombies was really cool. Unfortunately, it was just forgotten, and it wasn't really used long after that, so I'm only going to give it a 3 out of 5, just for the sheer fact that I feel bad for, because this weapon I thought was decent, but just no one really used it, and then it kind of just was put away on the back burner for a long time. So I'm just going to give it a 3 out of 5 for that, only because of the fact that I think if I put it at a 4 out of 5, which is what I'd usually put it, everyone would get really pissed off. So we're just going to move on to the next one. So Ascension didn't, what was it called? Deadlift Arcade did not have any, wonder weapons at all, because it was an arcade-style map, so it really wasn't canonically canon. So we're just going to go on to the next one, which is Ascension. Ascension didn't actually add any new wonder weapons. It kept the same old wonder weapons, brought in the Gertz device and the Ostutska dolls, which we never saw again, which I thought was really sad. I thought that was really cool. And a grenade that exploded into 4 other Russian dolls, which I thought was really nice. But that's not a wonder weapon, so we're not going to count it, but that would definitely be a 5 out of 5 right there. Anyway, kept the Thunder Gun, everything like that. So we move on to the next map. The next map was Call of the Dead. This map introduced the VR 11 to us all. It could be pack-a-punched. Unfortunately, nobody liked it. I personally liked it a lot. I thought that was a really cool idea for a weapon. Personally, I don't really care what anyone else says about it. I thought it was really cool, due to the fact that I never really used the monkeys, because I usually got Semtex grenades because I was stupid and I thought sticky grenades would be good. They weren't, because I never used them. So, of course, usually people will put this as like a 2 out of 5 or a 1 out of 5 or maybe even a 0 out of 5, but I put this as a 4 out of 5 because the concept of it was really nice. Again, I know I wouldn't count it, and I'm not going to, which is why it's still only a 3 out of 5 for me. But it is essential to the Easter egg, so just keep that in mind. But I'm not going to count it, so it's still only a 3 out of 5, but it is essential to the Easter egg, which I guess that's really the only point that anyone would ever want it. But I used it because it was actually a fairly decent weapon. I mean, it could calm down George for the round. He'd go away, so you don't have to worry about George Romero up your ass all the time, which is a nice touch, by the way. I don't want this man breathing heavily down my neck every time I try to go through a corner, because I fear for my life that he's gonna be there and swing his light at me, and I'm gonna die. Next one was the Baby Maker. I'm not exactly sure what the actual name of it was, but everyone just called it the Baby Maker, so that's what I'm just gonna call it. I forget exactly the name of it, but it was something weird like that. This weapon would turn zombies down into baby size, so then anyone who likes to kick babies now has the chance to kick a bunch of zombie babies. I thought that was a really nice touch, because when I want to punt a baby, I just go into this game. And I just go into Shangri-La. Unfortunately, it didn't do it very much justice. It definitely was one of my favorite wonder weapons of all time, because I like to shrink the zombies down and then step on them. I thought that was really cool. Unfortunately, again, Shangri-La was one of my least favorite maps because of just how enclosed everything was. It had the two bosses, the Shrieker and the Napalm Zombie, which were really fucking annoying, by the way. Pack-a-Punch, the weapon did serve literally the same purpose, except it got more ammo, so it really wasn't that useful, Pack-a-Punch. It didn't do any extra damage. It didn't do any base damage at all, actually. I think the only time it killed was on insta-kill. But even then, maybe it didn't even kill on insta-kill. Maybe its set value damage was set for 0. I'm not sure if it did anything on insta-kill. Can't remember. But yeah, it didn't do the map didn't do the weapon any justice. I still do really like the Baby Maker, but I'm gonna have to give it a 3 out of 5 just because of the map it was on and just because it didn't actually do any real damage. Plus the zombies, they grew back up in like a couple seconds if you just left them alone. It didn't affect the boss zombies. I think it only affected the Napalm. I don't know if it affected the Shrieker. If it did affect the Shrieker, then Jesus Christ, I feel bad for everyone who shot the Shrieker. But anyway, that's pretty much it for that. I give it a 3 out of 5 just because it's not as good as everyone likes to think everyone says it is. The next one is the Zap Guns, also known as the Wave Gun. Now, this gun was very nice. It was, in my personal opinion, one of the best wonder weapons that ever came out of Call of Duty Zombies, especially on the map it was on. I mean, you were on the frickin' moon. I mean, we were literally flying high on the moon, boys. So, I did appreciate the fact that they did more of a sci-fi weapon. I mean, more of a sci-fi weapon. The fact that you could put the weapon into 2, and then make the zombies puff up so much that they explode, I thought was a really nice touch. Again, although I can't count it, it is essential to the Easter egg. This map also was the return of the Gersh device, which we only saw back on Ascension, and it also brought the QEDs in. The QEDs, possibly one of the worst wonder equipments ever. The QEDs were just awful. Although you did also need them for the Easter egg, along with the Gersh device. The QEDs unless you were in an open area and you could lay down, you're most likely going to get a China Lake Jesus Christ, that blew up literally everything, and then you would die by a Gersh device, by your own Gersh device. Not fun, so I don't like that. But again, that's besides the point. No, we're not talking about wonder equipment. Going on into Transit. Oh my god, Transit. Oh my poor boy. I actually didn't really mind Transit that much. I mean, it was a decent map. Mostly because for the longest time I never got any of the DLCs. Because I was still around the age where I depended on my parents to buy everything for me. And they didn't really feel like buying, DLCs to a game that they didn't really want me to play anyway. So, Transit was pretty much, and Town were pretty much my go-to maps. Until, of course, I got Xbox gift cards for my birthday, and then I just bought literally every single DLC. So, we had the Jet Gun. The Jet Gun was a buildable that you could only build. It had no Pack-a-Punch version of it. Oh, did I forget to mention that every single Black Ops 1 and every single World at War had a Pack-a-Punchable version? If I didn't, I should probably say that now. This is the first wonder weapon that we saw that we could not upgrade at all, by any means. Which means it's already down one. But don't worry guys, it gets better than that. The overheat system was awful. You couldn't even shoot the thing for more than like 5 seconds without the thing breaking on you. And you'd have to go all the way back to where you built it to grab a damn new one. Honestly, it was awful. Personally though, I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad. but I mean, let's be honest here, it was pretty bad. So I give it a -1 out of 5 because it has to go down a point. I know the 0 was supposed to be like the minimum, but I really can't help myself. So I put it a -1 out of 5 just because it was so bad. There was no point to having it. It was basically the opposite of the Thunder Gun. Next one we go on is now this is where I get a little dicey with my DLC packs. I'm not sure if Buried or Mob of the Dead came first. I'm pretty sure Mob of the Dead came first. But the next one we had was Nuketown. Nuketown, of course, was one of the most blandest maps ever. Although I did really like it, and it was the first DLC I ever actually got. I didn't really enjoy it that much. This is when I started getting when I had my own account, so I couldn't use my dad's account anymore because my dad had all the Black Ops 1 DLCs, but now I had to get my own. So I really primarily only used Nuketown because it was free. Playing it had absolutely no wonder weapons except for the ray gun, so there was nothing there I can judge. I'm pretty sure the next one that came in was Die Rise. Now, Die Rise was definitely one of my favorites. Although, again, everyone hated it. And this map had, I think, the best wonder weapon was the Sliquifier. Unfortunately, you can't pack a puncher, so it's already down. But I think something that makes up for the fact is the fact that it's just so versatile. You can pretty much use it wherever you need to. You pump it down at your feet. Jumping jacks can't get you. You pump it down in front of a little ledge. Zombies will just slip and slide right off the edge. Personally, I can't find anything wrong with this, and I can't really fault it for not having a pack-a-punch, because if it did, it would definitely make the game broken. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 for this one, boys, because I don't see anything wrong with it. There's literally no flaws, maybe except for the fact that if you control your teammates by putting it near an empty elevator shaft, and then your team will slip and slide right off and follow their deaths. But I mean, I can't really see anything wrong with the map. So as for right now, I'm just gonna leave it as it's a 5 out of 5, dude. It was pack-a-punchable, 6 out of 5, definitely. Going from the worst to the best, and now we are going straight back to one of the worst. Next one I have is Buried. Now, Buried didn't really have a wonder weapon, from what I can recall. I know it had the time bomb. That's pretty much about it. There was really nothing. I guess the LSAT was map exclusive, but we're not going to talk. Actually, maybe it wasn't. No, I think it was on Nuketown too. Anyway, we're going to the next one. That was the Blundergat. Now, the Blundergat I never was able to get behind. We're going to talk about all of his variants. So the first one is just the basic Blundergat, the basic bitch of the trio. Now, actually, we'll get into the third one later. Pack-a-punched, it was decent, I guess. Acid Gat Pack-a-punch was the bomb. Going by every single variant, we're gonna go with Blundergat, Pack-a-punch Blundergat, Acid Gat, Pack-a-punch Acid Gat. Forget Blundergat, definitely not good. It's like a standard shotgun. I give it a 2 out of 5. Pack-a-punch, 3 out of 5. Acid Gat, 4 out of 5. Upgraded Acid Gat, 5 out of 5. Definitely. No doubt about it. Next one. So we have the next one here, which is going to be Origins. Now, Origins is going to have, I think that in Dreisendrach are going to have one of the longest segments because it has 4 staffs and then 4 different upgrades. Now, we're going to talk about just the regular ones, as I don't want to make this too long, so we're just going to completely ignore the upgradable ones. Plus, you have to do secret steps for them, which would go against the rule. It is pack-a-punchable, though, so I am going to give it that. I mean, you can't really pack-a-punch it, but you can upgrade it. I'll give it that much. So I won't degrade it, just because I know that every single fanboy out there is going to be pissed. Plus, I guess they're their own weapons, in a sense, because they all have different. So anyway, we're going to go with the Ice Staff first. The Ice Staff is definitely 3 out of 5. Fire Staff, 3 out of 5. Lightning Staff, 4 out of 5. Wind Staff, 4 out of 5. I think the Wind Staff might be a 5 out of 5 just because of how easy it is to get it. And because it's not that bad. Upgraded Ice Staff, still 3 out of 5. Upgraded Fire Staff 3 out of 5. Upgraded Lightning Staff 5 out of 5. And upgraded Wind Staff 6 out of 5. Let's get on to the next one. So now we are officially in Shadows of Evil. Now Shadows of Evil introduced the special abilities such as the Apothecary Sword and stuff like that. We're not going to be counting that because that isn't a special ability. That is not actually a weapon, or a gun rather. So we're just going to go with the Apothecary Servant. Apothecary Servant wasn't that bad. Again, you can't upgrade it though, which was unfortunate. You could for a time, but then they patched it. So unfortunately, it's going to be a 3 out of 5 for me. It's just not as good as everyone likes to say it is, but I mean, maybe in the future. Next one, we're going on from Shadows of Evil, and we're going straight to Dreisendrach. Now, I'm gonna regret my life, because I'm going to list these all off. So we have the regular fire bow, and then we have the lava bow, the wolf bow, the lightning bow, and the necromancy bow. Actually, it might be the dark magic bow or necromancy. I have no idea. I'm gonna call it the necromancy bow because it sounds cooler, but it might be dark magic. Anyways, so what we have for this one is the fire bow. The fire bow doesn't have any special charge up or anything like that. It's definitely a 3 out of 5. It's basically, you know, maybe a 2 out of 5 because it's just a fire. It's just basically a bow and arrow with little explosives. Going on to the actual bow, I cannot fairly judge the lava bow as I've never been able to use it. So that one I'm just going to leave as a blank because I've never used it before. The dark magic / necromancy bow, I'm definitely going to give a 3 out of 5 to it because it one special charge up, little guardian heads will come out of it and will start attacking any nearby zombies. The wolf bow is a 2 out of 5 just because the ult or the special ability is just a wolf to come out of nowhere and just run into zombies. Not that effective in large open areas. The lightning bow is a 5 out of 5 because a special charge, because when you charge it fully, it'll basically just cause a huge lightning storm to come out of your bow and lightning tornado, and can actually pick up the Panzer Soldat if he's nearby, and anything else like that. So definitely one that you want to use if you're getting raped. Going on to Zetsumono Shima, I cannot judge that one as I've never used it because I've never gotten the map. Gorod Krovi, although I do not have the map, I am able to find it on custom zombie maps. I haven't been able to find the Zetsumono Shima Wonder Weapon, but I've been able to find the Gorod Krovi one. And from how I've played during those maps, I think it's a 4 out of 5 because one shot is a ray gun Mark III, second one is a like a little wave gun, and then put them all together and you create a black hole. Now I just realized I forgot the ray gun Mark II. That is a 4 out of 5 for this, actually a 5 out of 5 because it's a 3 burst and no splash damage. I forgot to say that, so I'm sorry. That was introduced during Buried. That is my bad. It's also a Buried exclusive. The only way you can get it is if you have the Buried DLC. You can get it on every single map, but you can only pick it up, but you can only get it out of the mystery box if you have Buried. Let's keep going. So, next after that we have Revelations. Now Revelations did introduce no new wonder weapons, but did introduce the pack-a-punchable Apothecary Servant. Again, I've already said that I can't judge that one. I'm not going to. I don't feel like that's right. So we're just going to ignore it and go right on to the next one. So the next one we have here is we're going into Black Ops 4 territory. And this one we have is the Kraken. Now the Kraken is decent. I give it a 4 out of 5 just for the sheer fact that it's kind of good. You can regularly hack punch it, so that's good. So it's probably just a 4 out of 5 in my opinion. I never really used it that. So the Death of Orion you get from 9, and you can be upgraded into the Scarlet's Kiss. Now let's be honest here, it was pretty bad. There was no use using it. I think you can craft it, but I'm pretty sure you just get it out of the mystery box on its own. There was really no use for it. I don't think it was even used for the Easter egg, if I'm not 100% mistaken. It just serves no purpose whatsoever. I personally don't like it at all. I mean, I guess to each their own, but personally, I felt like the death of Orion was awful. Now, unfortunately, going onwards, I cannot vote any more weapons as I have not been able to use them. Unfortunately, I haven't really wanted to buy any more of the maps. I'm definitely not going to buy any more for Black Ops 4, so this is kind of where the list ends. I guess the last thing we can do is Blood of the Dead, is do the Magma Gat and the upgraded Magna Gat. Well, the Magna Gat is a 4 out of 5. The upgraded Magna Gat is still a 4 out of 5, just because it's not as good as the Acid Gat upgraded. But, I mean, I guess that's kind of it, really. I'm not going to be buying any more DLCs after this, because Black Ops 4 was a complete flop. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's not really what I expected. It's not really what I wanted in a map. Personally, I wouldn't have even gotten Classified if it wasn't for the fact that you didn't have to buy the whole damn season pass to get it, which I thought was incredibly stupid. But, I mean, I guess that's how they make their money. So, I mean, I guess I can't really judge them for making money. Unfortunately, I wish they went about it in a less scummy way, but after Black Ops 3, I'm not sure that they really have much of an option. Now, do they? Anyway, I just want to say that all these were, in my opinion, they didn't have anything to do with anybody else or any outside force at all. It's all 100% my opinion, so, of course, take it as a grain of salt, or live off of it religiously and then hate my guts for the next 10 years. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter to me what you guys want to do with this information. In fact, why'd you guys even click on this video? This was stupid to begin with. There was none that was actually that bad, except for the jet gun. I think that's really the only weapon that was actually god-awful. Did I mention that the Apothecary Servant had to be created, had to be crafted, and then afterwards, you can actually get it out of the mystery box, but that's only after someone's already grabbed it. That's after your friends have fought for the past 10 minutes trying to figure out who gets it. It was always me, because I always like to steal it. How did I steal it? Have the last part. Don't pick up the don't be the person who picks up the last part. Once you get 2 parts, just stand by a workbench until someone caves in and finally grabs it, and then you just craft it at your lab bench. Yep, that's just what I do. But anyways, I think that's about it, you guys. I don't really have anything else other to say than this is my opinion, and y'all can go fuck yourselves if you didn't like it. I mean, no, but seriously, go fuck yourself. But anyways, that's kind of it for me. I don't have much else to say. I guess I'm sorry if this offended you, because I didn't religiously love, what was it, the what's its face? I have no idea. Doesn't really matter. But I think that's about it, you guys. I'm not going to be talking about I also didn't want to talk about every single version of the ray gun, because there are 4 versions of it. Each are different slightly. When I mean slightly, I mean very slightly. But anyways, I think that's just it for me. I'm going to bed because I'm tired. I don't know if you guys can hear my voice, but I don't give 2 shits at this point anymore. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna call my mom, tell her I love her. You guys should probably do the same. There's a code here I can enter. What the fuck? Ah! You guys should probably go tell your mom that you love her, and that you cherish her, and that you want to leave her for the milkman because you are gay. Or something like that. I have no idea. I guess... I don't know. Well, not that's out of the way, because I'm not, I actually lied about me being tired. I'm not really tired, I just want you guys to go. I'm just gonna finish up and see what this code does. What was the passcode again? Oh, fuck you. Thick cunt. Help me. Why do I not have the monkey? Well, dude. Piss off. Okay. What was it? 4708. I did it. 4708, right? That's literally the code posted literally everywhere. Well, that's it, because they don't like coming down the elevator, so... Actually, can I activate the elevator while I'm down? No, so I'm just gonna sit in the elevator. I like how the game just ends. 3 kills. 3. And I got 1, 2, 3 headshots, dude. That's a screenie right there. Screenshot of that, dude. Oh my god. Why is it so hot in my room? What do I really need? I need to find a nice quiet place and relax. Was I recording this entire time, or was I not? I was, haha. Was I not? Anyway, I'm out of here, you guys. See y'all later.